Good afternoon, everyone. Before I start my speak to oppose opponent speaks, there's paper handwriting by me, and this is my voice recorder, so you can hear my voice clearly. So I'll start my speak in three, two, one. Panel, the government team fundamentally failed to realize that true rehabilitation and reintegration are built on accountability and our trust, not on mandatory instrumentality of society memory. Before moving to my argument, let's clarify the government setup. Firstly, the government characterized the status quo as permanent hell for ex-convicts, assuming that society will forever punish them and that erasing memory is the only mechanism to save them. Secondly, they treat society as purely vindictive and assume all released criminals are completely harmless. They ignore that criminal recourse and social memory exist as protective mechanisms, not just punitive ones. Thirdly, the impact is they ignore public safety. Their mechanism force victims and vulnerable communities to interact with potential threats blindly. They fail to prove how their exit mechanism justifies streaming away society right to informed consent. Now let's oppose the opponent's argument. Firstly, they say society has irrational bias to only trust good people. So ex-convict will never accept it unless we erase the memory. However, we say that the exit to be cautious around someone with a violent or criminal past is not irrational. It is highly rational, biological, and logical protective mechanisms. This is because past behavior is the most logical method humans have to assess future risks. Trust is something that must be earned over time, not artificially forced by deleting someone's memory. Therefore, blinding society to the past doesn't fix tragedy, just things. It dangerously violates society's right to safety and informed consent. Secondly, they say criminals are deeply regretful and therefore deserve a completely clean, forgotten slate. However, we say that while many are regretful, regret does not entirely absolve accountability, or does it guarantee zero recidivism. It can or it could be repeat offense. This is because true regret involves facing the consequence and making amends with the community you harm. Hiding behind a physically erased memory is not regret, it's escaping from their memory. Furthermore, not all criminals are regretful. Some of them manipulate the system. Therefore, the government's model provides a dangerous shortcut, denies genuine redemption, and puts the public at massive risk if the criminal's regret is fake. Our stand is clear. We fully defend the status quo. We support restorative justice and rehabilitation programs and anti-discrimination laws in employment for ex-convicts. However, we vehemently oppose the erasure of memory. Our goal is proof that preserving the memory of the crime is absolute to guarantee public safety to allow the offender to assume genuine, meaningful redemption. So, as the opposition, I have proved two things in today's debate. Firstly, why erasing social memory is gross violation of victim rights and public safety. Secondly, why retaining this memory actually facilitates better, more authentic recognition for the ex-convict. Now, let's move on my arguments. Firstly, the first argument, erasing memory safely compromises public safety and violates informed consent. So, forcing society to forget a crime removes vital structural safeguards that protect vulnerable people. The reason is criminal records and societal awareness allow communities to make informed decisions. Without this memory, we will lose the ability to restrict high-risk individuals from sensitive positions. The right of community to be safe drives the right of an offender to feel comfortable. We have evidence in the world government. In the government world, a community ambassador could easily get hired as a bank manager, or convicted child abuser could be hired at local school because the system and the community simply forget their past. Therefore, protecting the ex-convict feelings comes at the unacceptable and dangerous cost of society basic safety. The second argument, true rehabilitation requires the existence of memory, not its erasure. Erasing Memory robs offenders of the chance of redemption and validates the victim's trauma. This is because the retribution is a process of earning back trust. If you erase the memory, trust is not earned. It is artificially maintained through deception. True restorative justice means looking at your past, taking responsibility, and proving you have changed. Furthermore, erasing the crime forces victims to live in a world that denies the trauma ever happened, which is deeply unethical. We have evidence that look at ex-convicts in the status quo who become counselors or community leaders. They use their job as powerful testimony to prevent kids from joining gangs or doing drugs. Under the government's model, this power redemption narrative is completely destroyed. Therefore, this technology doesn't save criminals. It cheapens their journey of reform and destroys every concept of restorative justice. So, the conclusion is we cannot sacrifice the safety of the public and the closure of the victim or disappointing election of a clean state. For accountability, for safety, and for true redemption, we are extremely proud to oppose this motion. Thank you.